my lighting. Trying hard to to be on time. So first of all, thank you guys for your support. And I would say that we are really growing fast. Not the fast that I could expect, because I stopped in some point. But I really want to thank you guys for your continued support on our channel that focuses both in my personal life, in our family, and also with the applied behavior analysis. So let me just settle my camera quickly, and then there you go. I hope this will be, I think it's too high. There you go. So thank you for always tuning in and always searching for the video that you need for your children. And of course, thank you for your support and watching my videos about the family time, and some vlogs about our activities here in Abu Dhabi. And I hope you continue to support us, because we want to share more on our experiences here, that even though you could not come here physically, we can share with you some of the cultures and some of the experiences that we have here in Abu Dhabi. So before we proceed to our topic, which you saw from our title, let me just quickly share our link to my YouTube channel, okay, to my Facebook channel. So just give me quick seconds or minute, and then I will be back. Okay, so finally we're here. We're live in Josie Majo channel. And thank you guys again for your support to our channel. I really appreciate your time, your efforts, and even the time that you're giving to share our channel to all of your friends and loved ones out there. So before we proceed, let me introduce myself again. My name is Jocelyn Pimangibin. I'm a board certified behavior analyst, international behavior analyst, and certified autism specialist. Let me just quickly get something and fix my side here because it's a bit messy. All right, here you go. Okay, so our topic for tonight is about the imitations that you can train your child. Okay, so in our daily lives, most of our learnings, of course, especially the new skills, are coming from the imitations. Okay, and for us, especially for the kids that has autism, it's really rare to them to have like this strong skills of imitations. Okay, so what we are trying to do in applied behavior analysis, we are trying to pick some skills and targets that are very important to the kids' life, like to the daily routine or daily lives, the routine of lives. Okay, so we are not having like one cookie cutter of our interventions. Again, this is a disclaimer, like all these interventions are coming from the concepts and principles of applied behavior analysis that I'm suggesting here. I'm not saying that you can do this to your child directly, or I'm not saying that you can 100% your child will be okay after this video. I'm just suggesting some pointers and just giving you some practical approach on how we can train your child, especially with the imitations, which are very, very important skills. Okay, so number one, we have the object imitation. Number two, we have the gross motor and fine motor, like not using any objects, or sometimes the fine motor can use object, and the vocal imitation. Okay, so those three or four, we can try to train your child in the daily basis. Now, let me just put it in proper way in which we don't put the child in a corner and then do the imitation all the way through. Okay, as much as possible, we want imitation to be natural. Okay, so let's think about it. When can we teach our child to imitate us? Of course, number one, when you're playing together, right? Now, in the imitation, you can use the phrase "do this" so that the child can see what you're doing. Okay, so and then your child can be practiced on that specific training direction or instruction. Do this, that will control him or her in the future to have the control. Like when you say do this, he needs or she needs to imitate. Okay, because when you are training new skills, you need to be firm and you need to be clear with your instructions, and then it should be uniform in the beginning, and then later on you can generalize it. For example, the name of the child is Alex, which is my favorite name. Okay, Alex. And then, Alex, do this. Or you don't need to call the child actually. When a child looks at you, you get them. Because one of the prerequisites is the child should have the proper attention. Okay, the child can focus. All right, so if the child doesn't have the focus, it's rarely that the child can do the imitation. Okay, so when the child doesn't have the focus, I will put the link below on how to increase the focus of the child. Okay, I already did a video about it. Okay, so if you're training your child and then from time to time your child is out of focus, you just call once or twice. Don't call too much. Okay, don't overuse the name. Just get the attention model and then do this. Okay, so do this is mostly known for the imitation instruction. It's easier to understand and it's easier to convey to the child. Okay, you don't need to give too long instructions. Just make it very simple and clear. Now, how do we do this in the natural? Okay, let's go to object imitation. Object imitation we usually do in the natural when you are playing. For example, your child doesn't know how to hit the ball with the hammer, okay? And the child is just poking it. And you want your child to learn how to do that, okay? So this is like connected to the independent play and social play actually. So when you are doing that and your target is for your child to hit the ball with the hammer, then get a hammer. Let your child have his or her own hammer if possible, if available, okay? Then say, do this. Should be clear. The child should be focusing on the item. Okay, another prerequisite is the joint attention. Okay, so eye contact, joint attention, and session behavior. I will put the link below that you can use as a prerequisite for this kind of training. Okay, so do this. All right, so if the child is really having trouble in like following the imitation or copying the imitation, then you might need to use discrete trial training, which it's a little bit complicated because it's a technical term for intensive training, okay, that we repeat. It's a repetitive training that you focuses on one target at a time, okay? It has clear beginning and clear end. That's why it's discrete. Now, don't be scared. It's okay. All right? Because in our daily lives, if you want to your child to learn, then you will do anything for your child to learn. So discrete trial is just having a table, sitting across to your child, and then having your reinforcement, of course. Reinforcer is very essential for the beginning of the training, especially with the new skills, to strengthen the target, to strengthen the skills that you want your child to learn. Okay, so across the child, this is discrete trial. This is a technique, okay? So you have the reinforcer, and then the child is focusing, then quickly say the SD or the discriminative stimulus. Again, I will put the link below so that you will have a review of what the SD is and how it works, okay? So the SD, do this, and then, oh, sorry, we are in the object, okay? So do this, and then if the child didn't do, you need to prompt, okay? Now, again, I have links on what are the prompts that you can use for your child. Depends on the level of your child. It depends on how your child is coping up with the response that you're targeting. Okay, so if your child responding with the quick prompt, full physical, or the child is responding into with 2 seconds delay and then you prompt, and so on and so forth. Okay, so it depends on the level of your child. So the discrete trial, it has SD and then it has prompts. The moment your child gives the response, the proper response according to your target, then you give the reinforcer. So that's the fourth part. Remember, discrete trial has clear beginning and clear end. So the reinforcement should be given right after the response, the correct response is given. Now, we have what we call inter-trial interval. If you are doing discrete trial, that means you decided, as a parent, you decided like, my child really needs practice on this skill, like hitting the hammer, okay, or the ball with the hammer. So that means you need to practice your child from time to time and give the reinforcement. Make sure you're giving the SD clearly. Okay, that is a trial, like intensive. Inter trial interval is the time between when you give the reinforcer, the last time you give the reinforcer, and then the next round of your SD, prompts, response, the next round of your training. It should not be too long, not longer than 1 minute. Okay, and then most of the time we do that like 5 rounds, 6 rounds. All right, and then after that, go to another target, or sometimes we mix it with another target but still in the same category, that is object. For example, the cup, turning down the cup or pouring something in the cup. So make sure also what you are asking your child to imitate is more functional, like the teacup. Okay, the teapot, putting in a cup, like that, pouring action, or putting the cup upside down because we are using it when we finished washing the dishes or the glasses, right? So I hope it's clear about the discrete trial training. That is when you saw your child that you need to train intensively. Please make a time to train your child, read your reinforcement with you, and then do the practice. Okay? Now we have what we call natural environment training, which we can do most of the time. Every day, every time you get a chance. Okay? So at home, probably when you're playing, do this, and then make sure you give social praise if social praise is good for your child, or that's your child's reinforcer. Of course, social praise should be always there, even if your child is having some reinforcement. Okay, the reinforcer, the food, it's fine to have the social praise, of course, and make sure it's clear. Good job following it, good job copying me. Okay, so that's make sure that you are delivering the reinforcement in a proper manner and quick timing. Okay, gross motor imitations are for your actions, all right? For example, do this or do this, do this. Those are very important because in the future, if they go to school, they will have to they might need to follow the teachers or the friends when they are sitting down in a circle. So it's easier for you to manage that if you put that or you teach your child and your child's repertoire makes became bigger and wider on that specific skill, then it's easier for you to give more imitations activities to your child. All right, so natural environment, you don't need to have proper SD as long as your child has the focus to you. The moment you get your child's focus in the natural setting, then hey, do this, Alex, come here, can you do this, like that. So make it more natural on any point of your availability and opportunity at home that you can train your child. Now the discrete trial, it's up to you to decide to focus on at least 3 targets first. Do not make it like too much, so that you can practice those 3 targets like accordingly, okay, systematically. And then you can take note what prompt did you use on that specific day. All right, same as gross motor. And again, I will post the link below about the prompts, about how's the ST working in the behavior, and then what else about the reinforcer, I guess, and the functions of the behavior. I always include that in the link. And then most of the time. All right, so we have also fine motors. If you want to practice your child, do this. Remember, imitation, the main SD is do this. Okay? Even if you want to make it generalized. For example, hey, Alex, can you follow this? So at least there is some kind of connecting words to this, to what are you doing, okay? So vocal imitation is kind of echoic, all right? There are some words that are non-functional and some words are functional. For the kids who are not really talking, you might want to start with shaping them into any sounds, okay, any sounds that could probably approximate on the child's skills. For example, the child is always doing like na 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 or ba 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 ba. Then start from there. Do this ba ba, say ba ba. Okay, if it's vocal, say ba ba. Okay, so make it clear. Make it clear and make it short. 2 syllables or 1 syllable. If the child is really not speaking, it's not giving you functional words. Okay, so start from the sounds and then later on develop. Okay, for example, she's saying ba 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 most of the time when while playing, like in all conditions, your child is doing that sound. Then start getting the attention. Say b, and then when the child, according to the timing, because the response should be like quick right after you give the instruction, say b, and then reinforce, okay? And then later on probably you will connect it with the bubbles, and then you will say b and then bubbles. All right, so slowly, and then you will connect it also with, for example, car, and your child is just saying vroom, 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 like that. Start with say vroom, or let's say boo, boo. At least your child is giving some approximations, okay? Now be very careful in reinforcing your child's behavior or response, okay? So whatever your target is on that day, it should be the one that you will reinforce. If your child gives you another response, if you say buh, and your child said it's not the same, right? Because it should have the same point-to-point correspondence. So, functional. What are the functional? So, sometimes there are children that they don't really know the name of the item that they're requesting or they are naming. Then you can put it first in echoic. Okay, for example, ball. They really love to play ball, but when you hold it and get the motivation and you want them to request, they cannot say. They will just say, they will just look at you, okay? Then you can just give them ball, say ball. Then the child says ball. So that's the time, that's nice, saying ball, good job. So what happens there, you did the vocal imitation for functional. The function there is asking for ball. Or if you ask the child, what is it? And the child didn't answer, then you prompt, say ball, ball. Then from the vocal imitation, it becomes functional into naming items. All right? So those are the 3 imitations mainly that we are training the children. Now, again, it's up to us. You observe your child. What are the main targets that you can help your child with? For example, in your daily lives, your child needs to hold a toothbrush. Then you start doing the DTT, discrete trial training, in holding the toothbrush. That's it. Do this, and then your child. That would be a separate training. Okay? So if you could see, the ABA is really broad. Okay, we cannot have a cookie cutter for each intervention. But what we can do is for you guys to at least help your child by observing them. What do they need today and the daily routine? What do they need? If they need to hold the glass and then tilt like this, then practice it in the object imitation. If they need to to follow your instructions to sit down, something like that, then you model the sit down, do this. And then when your child follows it by your prompting, reinforce. Okay? So a lot of things that you can train your child every day. Again, the DTT is very discreet. It has the system, the clear beginning and clear end. The beginning is the SD, and then you have to prompt if possible. And then in the future, of course, you need to fade your prompt. And then response of the child. If the child responds according to your target, then give the reinforcer. Don't forget to give the reinforcer. And then there is an inter-trial interval in which it should not be longer than 1 minute. And then repeat the trial, okay, like probably 3 or 5 times in specific target, and then go to another target. Now, if you want to mix it with natural environment training, of course, you are welcome to do. Okay, so don't be scared to try things as long as it's not harmful to your child, okay? Especially when you want your child to learn new skills. Use reinforcers. If you have some reinforcers that are really strong, make sure that you are saving it for your training, especially food, okay? And even if your social praise is very, very important for you to deliver it in the proper timing, proper response of the child, the proper target, the response of the target, that the target response that we are searching from the child. And don't let your child have errors. If sometimes there are some errors, don't give good job. Okay, don't just react right away. Make sure you are checking your child's response. If your child gets error, then repeat the scenario, repeat the instruction, and then correct your child accordingly. Okay? So I hope you understand what I was pertaining to, and hopefully we can have longer live next time if we have more parents who are watching. And also, I have a good news for you guys. I don't know if you will watch until the end, but I have good news for you. That whoever the first 3 commenters, okay, whoever comments the first 3, because I can receive what do you call this, a notice from my email. The first 3 parents who will comment on this live, okay, even if it's already recorded, so you can just comment about what we tackle this afternoon, or any questions you may have, as long as it's connected to ABA or whatever comments, appropriate comments, okay? So first 3 parents, I will have Zoom, okay? So one-on-one Zoom with you for 30 minutes, and we can tackle more about your child. This is for free, okay? So again, first 3 parents who will comment on this live, in this video, in this YouTube channel, then I will have 30 minutes. Okay, I will message you, I will PM you directly if you get a chance to have 30 minutes with me. Okay, so that we can have the timing and we can have the day that we can talk through Zoom. And that is very exciting because we can connect more and we can have discussion in depth in your child's situation. All right. But again, a disclaimer, your child needs proper assessment so that we can know the level of your child, and we can also see what are the skills your child have and what are your skills your child needs to be trained with. Okay, so thank you so much again for your support for our channel, and I really appreciate your patience on waiting, and hopefully this will work. The live will be about ABA, and then the pre-recorded one will be for our daily lives or the vlogging here about our lives here in Abu Dhabi. Okay, so thank you so much. Don't forget, three first commenters. I will have Zoom with you, I will PM you, and then let's have a chat. Okay, thank you so much. God bless you all. Bye.